Good day, Wolfpack coaches and athletes. I want to ask you the question today. Do you ever find yourself thinking, can I even ask God about this? Is it important to him? You see, from the moment that he left his throne, came to earth, put on flesh and bone, Jesus was on mission. His mission was to redeem mankind. Big picture, right? That no man should perish. Many of you have heard this before. Many of you believe this to be true and have put your faith in the one they call the Messiah. So what about the little details in our life? What about the things that others would deem not important? Can you ask God about them? And more to the point, will he answer you? Does God himself care about the details too? The little things, the small things that to others may seem, dare I say, trivial. You see, when Jesus was accruing his group of followers, his disciples, his team, his miracles, his life had not yet gone public. People didn't know that he was the Messiah. He wasn't claiming to be the Messiah yet, at least in terms of the general population. He was telling individuals, he was accruing his team, but in terms of well-known across the city and the region, they hadn't really heard of him yet. And Jesus, we see in the Gospel of John, he attends this wedding. And at this wedding is his mom and his friends. And one of the first misconceptions about Jesus is that he never lost focus of his mission to redeem mankind, but he took time to eat, to celebrate, to have fun, relax, be with his loved ones. And here he is at this wedding. And at this wedding, we see this story develop where it's a long, long celebration and they run out of wine, which is gravely embarrassing for the host family, the father of the bride. I'm going to pick it up in chapter 2, where it says this. The wine supply had run out during the festivities, so Jesus' mother told him, his mom gets involved. They've no more wine. Dear woman, it's not our problem. Jesus replied, my time has not yet come. And he's talking about doing public miracles, witnesses, and events. But his mother told the servants, do whatever he tells you. Standing nearby were 6 stone jars used for Jewish ceremonial washing. Each could hold 20 to 30 gallons of wine. So Jesus told the servants, fill the jars with water. Then the jars had been filled. He said, now dip some out and take it to the master of the ceremonies. So the servants followed the instructions. And when the master of the ceremonies tasted the water that was now wine, not knowing where it had come from, though of course the servants knew, he called the bridegroom over. A host always serves the best wine first, he said. Then, when everyone has had a lot to drink, when they're drunk, he brings up the less expensive wine because they won't notice. But you have kept the best wine until now. And this is the miraculous sign at Cana in Galilee. Was the first time Jesus revealed his glory and his disciples believed in him. You see, I've often joked, and sometimes with some of you in person, that Jesus' first miracle was to keep the party going, right? And it's true. But I want us to look at a slightly different perspective, guys. And this party would have gone on with or without fine wine. But his mom came to him and said, they've run out. Can you help? No doubt his fellow disciples, his friends, went, we've run out. And no doubt he saw the despair on some people's faces. Oh, we've run out of wine. Is it a life-saving situation? No. Is it an eternal situation? No. But they went to him. They asked him. They interceded. And not only did Jesus honor their requests, he showed up and showed up. So I want to challenge you this week. There's an area in your life, no doubt, that you have put in a box, that you have deemed too trivial, that you have deemed that God doesn't even care about. It's not of eternal consequences. But it matters to you. And here we see it matters to Jesus. He went public to honor those around him when his time was not yet come. He wanted to honor those in need and those to have a good time. It mattered to him that much. So what is it? What is it that is holding you back? What is it, that one thing that you need to ask him for so he can show up and show out? Now remember, it wasn't so his mom got the glory or the disciples got the glory, but the servants knew that all this goodness, all this good wine came from him, the Messiah. So whatever it is that you ask the Lord to show up and show out on, no matter how trivial in your life that others may seem it to be, make sure that he gets the glory. Make sure that others know it came from him. It came from him. Guys, have a great week. God bless you. Stay tight to Jesus. He wants to show up and show out in your life. See you next week.